how to get well fed. That can mean so much to so many, but what does it mean to you? So let's talk about relationships, dating, partnership, and feeling like you're getting the meal and not just the crumbs. I'm Coach Junie Moon, your love coach, and it is so my honor and my passion to help you live life fully out loud. And if you choose to invite somebody in, to actually have the full meal. So, have you ever found yourself starving for attention, starving for connection, hungry for someone who could really meet you, hungry for someone who could really go the distance with you, desiring more than what you have? Put in the chat box if you've found yourself hungry. Say, yes, I'm hungry. I have so many women that come to me saying, I really just want a conscious partner that I can just relax with and be myself and have him be able to meet me in a heart to heart, soul to soul, beautiful way. Maybe that means deeper intimacy. Maybe that means doing more things together. At the end of the day, if you are not getting met in the most important ways to you, you're going to be hungry. And I use the metaphor of hunger because, well, I love using the metaphor of food and restaurants. It's a good metaphor. So here's an example. Let's just say you're hungry and you go into a restaurant and it has no food and you're hungry. And so maybe they were like, sorry, this is all I've got. I've got an apple. You might be so hungry that you take the apple and you go, thank you. And then you leave the restaurant and that gets you through. But do you go back to that restaurant again? Seemed like it had potential. Seemed like it had a really wonderful menu. Kind of weird that they ran out of food, but hey, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Totally fine, because maybe you met somebody that seems really awesome and you would love to give them another chance. Maybe their refrigerator broke, metaphor. And so you go back the next day to the same restaurant. I'm sorry, we have no more food, but we have a banana for you. And you go, oh, thank you. I love bananas. And you eat it, and it gives you some relief of your hunger. Awesome. Do you really want to keep going back to that restaurant? Seriously, do you really want to keep going back to that restaurant? Now, it might be convenience, might be the restaurant down the block. Ah, maybe the prices are really good. Maybe it's your favorite type of food, you know? Maybe there's no other restaurant around and you're thinking, if I don't go there, I'm really going to starve. So let me just accept the banana. Let me just accept the apple. And so you keep going there day to day and you start losing weight, which maybe you're happy about, but you know what I mean. You're like, wow, I'm really getting really thin. Um, I'm really, really hungry, but this is all I know now. And this is comfortable for me. And then years go by, if you're lucky, and you find yourself going, oh my God, I really, really accepted the crumbs. I accepted just enough to get me through because the alternative was I had to go across town and find a new restaurant, or I had to put some effort in, or maybe I had to learn how to say no to that restaurant because it really wasn't sustainable. It wasn't feeding me well. And this is the cautionary tale about dating and relationships. Do you relate? Do you relate in that you sometimes keep going back to the same restaurant, getting the same, this is all you can have, and thinking it's going to be different next time? Put it in the chat box if that is something familiar. And maybe you've had a flavor of it. Maybe you've experienced some of it. And that's another thing I see is another pattern where women will date the same person over and over, dating a potential or staying in a relationship way too long because they think it has a lot of good qualities, maybe lots of appetizers, but you never get the full meal and you never feel satisfied and you never feel full. So I'm going to invite you to really be conscious of this metaphor as you open to love, as you're meeting new people. Because if you're getting crumbs, and you're accepting crumbs as well, this is good enough, then there's a part of you that I offer to you with total love feels like you don't deserve more, that you can't have more, that you have to accept less. And that's a self-esteem challenge. That's in between your ears, belief system thinking you can't have it because something's wrong with you. That's a conditioning problem. Maybe you've been hurt over and over, and this is all you know, so it's scary for you to open to somebody new, something different, going to a new restaurant. That would be that vulnerable place that needs some support. Or maybe your warrior energy needs to learn how to take a stand and go, no, I'm not going back to that restaurant. I will not accept another friggin' appetizer. I want the whole buffet. And sister, you deserve the buffet. You deserve the quality man, quality meal that will fill you up and fill your soul. The challenge is that if you have been doing this over and over through all the years, again, the metaphor, your palate, your taste buds are used to something. If you eat a lot of crap, like my partner right now, he oh, hey, Jane, good to have you here. I'll read that in a second. My partner has changed his diet so much that he ate something the other day that was way too rich for him. And he was like, wow, normally I would have loved that, but now I'm not really wanting it. But just a heartbeat ago, that was how he was eating. So he changed his palate. It's the same thing when you get so clear and you empty out any of the stuff that makes you think this is good for you, you will then go, no, I do not want to eat that meal again. I do not want the pigs in the blanket again. I want that beautiful, delicious vegetarian lasagna filled with all the goodies. So we need to unpack the baggage, come home to you, feed yourself the most amazing meals so you're not hungry. Because if you ever gone to a restaurant, not a restaurant, go shopping when you're starving, you buy things that you normally wouldn't buy because you're so hungry. We have to stop that pattern. So we need to slow down, look at the pattern. What have you been feeding yourself? What have you been accepting from other people? And change that pattern. Now, when I work with people over time, we need to look at those patterns and we need to see why have you been accepting the pigs in the blanket when over there's this amazing eggplant parmesan with sauteed broccoli next to it or broccoli rabe. Maybe you don't even see it. Maybe you don't think you can have it. Maybe it's just like a pipe dream. And that's the mindset we need to change so that not only are you feeding yourself delicious, amazing food, relationship to yourself, but you're also calling in a very different person and you're going to have a full meal or at least a better friggin' meal. Let me see what Jane has to say. Yes, definitely have been there. The worst for me is when you get what you need sometimes, not enough to really fill you, but enough to keep you hanging in there, like intermittent reinforcement, I guess. And I've been there. Oh my God, I've been there, Jane. Thanks for sharing that. Because I was in a relationship before I started doing all the transformational work that I do with my clients. I hit rock bottom because I was in a relationship that fed me so beautifully with one aspect of my life. He was so much fun. He was into movies and we had great sex, and it was wonderful in so many ways. And I stayed because I was being so well fed in those ways that I was starving for years. But he was a narcissist and it was all about him. And I suddenly was questioning, like, me. And he would drop the ball and I would think it was my fault. This was years ago. And this is when I was like, whoa, this is a pattern. Thankfully, I only stayed a year, but that was a year of my friggin' life. And I did the work and I emptied it out and I found the way to spot faster, move faster, and get fed in the way that I want to get fed. So, gentleness to you, Jane, and everybody that's watching and listening right now. If this is a pattern that's familiar where you stay a little too long, where you're getting some needs met, but you're not really full. And I want to offer to you, and this is a tricky thing, is no man is going to complete you. And no man is going to meet every need of yours. You need to do that for you. And they enhance your life. But, and here's the but, if you invite a man in and he doesn't have the most important aspects that you're looking for, you will be hungry. And so you really need to be able to fill yourself up, have deep self-care, be able to go into the world of dating not hungry, not going shopping when you're starving. Have an amazing life and then call in somebody to enhance it with the things that are most important to you. Because at the end of the day, I do think we stay longer and accept less because we're so friggin' hungry. And so what I offer to you is there are ways to fill yourself up and to have an extraordinary love life, even if you don't have a partner. And it's imperative that you learn how to fill yourself up before you call in somebody into your life. Now, some people in my program, I have different programs. I work one-on-one, and I have my Midlife Love Mastery program. That's a year program where we are uncovering why do we stay so long? What are these crumbs? And learning how to fill ourselves up, a step-by-step process and how to really show up for yourself in a solid, sustainable way, and sometimes date while you're doing it because it's great to learn and see some of those patterns and then bring them back to me so I can support you. What I offer to you, sister, is if you truly, truly, truly wanting to feel fulfilled, it starts with you. Knowing what's most important for you, learning how to give yourself some really good meals so you're not hungry but you desire a little extra dessert because that's what men can offer to you, enhancing your life. Who would like that? Put it in the chat box. Yes, I want my dessert. Okay, so here's the other thing. I have a few spots left in my Midlife Love Mastery program, but I don't have any more spots left on my calendar to talk to you. If you are called to find out more information about the program or finding out how to fill yourself up, I still have a few more spots and I have a couple in my private practice. And you could email me at junie@coachjuniemoon.com and I would be thrilled to talk to you. It just might be a little time before we talk because full calendar this week. And then thankfully, I'm going on a nice vacation on Friday to fill up my heart and my belly by swimming with the dolphins. And then when I come back, we can chat. So if you're feeling called to do some more work with me, reach out to me. I'll put my email in the chat box, Coach Junie at coachjuniemoon.com, and let me know. And then we can find a time when I get back on the calendar and we can go from there. All right. Do not starve. Yes, Deborah wants her dessert. You deserve it, sister. And what I know about you, sister, is you know how to eat well in your life. This woman knows how to fill up her own cup, does all these amazing things, and she wants her dessert. Deborah, you live what I'm talking about, and you have inspired me through the years to go out there sometimes by myself. I have a partner, but to go out there by myself because, hey, this is about us having a full, rich life. So, yes, Deborah, yes. And Jane, so great to see your comments. All right, sisters, that's my inspirational, hopefully, tips for love. I'm spitting here. Tips for Love Tuesday to fill up your own cup and your heart and call in your dessert. And it'd be my pleasure to support you further. Mwah! See you in a couple of weeks because I am on vacation next week. Yeah, I might pop in if I have good reception, go into the Bahamas. All right. Bye, sister.